Good morning and welcome in on this sunny at the moment Monday morning. My name is Helen Jennings. I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator based here in the UK, and we're going to have a bit of a play and do some crafting. I'm not quite sure where the morning is going to take us. We will see. So who is feeling completely organised? All the shopping is done, all the presents are wrapped, everything is hunky and dory and under control. You know, all that's left now is to sit down with your feet up and a mince pie, versus me, who feels as if my to-do list is about to completely, explode my brain. Not quite sure whether I'm coming or going. I've got so many things to do, and I'm thinking, what are we going to do this morning? Where am I fitting in my brain? What are we going to do this morning? But we're going to have a bit of a play. I have got my Christmas tree up. That went up yesterday. So we're starting to look a bit festive, but still a long way to go in the Jennings household. But I hope that you're all doing okay. I thought I'd start by sharing with you some of the Christmas cards that I've had through the posts that people have been creating for me. So I've had some lovely cards. So this one was from Leslie. So beautiful. Thank you, Leslie. That's sort of got a bit battered by the look of it as it's sat on the side. So apologies there. But it is just stunning. So using that beautiful poinsettia, and we're going to be using that today. So a gorgeous card. Had a card from Hannah, all beautifully and sparkly with those snowflakes on. Ho ho ho, love it. Beautiful holly card from Carol. Do love that stamp set. Had these very cute little gnomes with their sparkly noses and beards. Yeah, that one was from Janet. Great stuff. Had this lovely one here that's all padded. I thought that one was lovely. That one was from Sarah. So those sort of Christmassy owls. And then this one came all the way from Australia from Angie. So thank you, Angie. That was really lovely. Lovely surprise. So yeah, some really lovely cards I've had come through the post in these last couple of days. So I shall put those up with my other Christmas cards when I've finished. Got a bit of a cup of tea going on. Oh, Jane, you don't need to apologise about not sending me a card. I've not sent anybody a card yet. That is one of my jobs on my to-do list that's making my head feel as if it's about to explode. But thank you. It is really lovely that you thought about doing it. That actually is the main thing. So thank you very much. Okay. So what shall we play with today? I've got out the poinsettia dies and a few other things. I was umming and ahhing thinking, oh, shall we go new things? Shall we go Christmas tags? That was another option. But because I have been putting up my tree and sort of putting around a few decks, I thought let's go for something a little bit different. And this is going to be coming sort of, almost no pre-planning. Absolutely no here's one I've made earlier, but we're going to have a bit of a play and see what happens. So I am going to let's bring in our trimmer, and I'm going to score this A4 cardstock at 7 centimetre intervals, so 7. So that will give me 4 equal chunks, 4 equal columns, and a bit on the end. So 7, 14, 21 and 28. Good bit of maths and 7 times table this morning. And then I'm going to swing it round, and I'm also going to do 7 centimetres from the bottom. Okay. Now, let me take my scissors I'm going to snip up these score lines just here. This one on the end I'm going to snip up and then cut a bit off, because I don't need that necessarily. I just need a bit of a tab, and then every other one of these I'm just going to take a bit of a wedge out of, just because that will help a little bit when I come to folding and sticking it in a minute. So let me just fold that over. I'll perhaps bring my bone folder in a minute, but for now I'm just pressing it down. Now I'm going to dig around and find the plates for my large full size for my full size stamping emboss. Missing an acrylic plate just there, because what I want to do is I want to cut some windows out of here. Now I think I'm going to have to do a little bit of jiggling to do that, just because the cardstock is obviously wider than the plates. So what I'm going to do, needs to see which of these rectangles, that's too wide. I think that's going to be the baby. I'm going to want that to sit in there and cut a rectangle. I'd like the stitching on it, so I'm going to turn it over so the stitching is the right side. So this is going to be my right side of my card. I'm going to put my window on there. I'm going to need to fold these flaps up, because otherwise the cardstock won't go through my machine. I'm going to fold it up over the top of the die like that. Hold that down. And bring in the big machine. It feels very heavy after using the little baby machine. Just move my tea out slightly, and then let's run that through there. I might just bring it back rather than running that all the way through. Okay, I'm not going to worry about this because this is just going to be my bottom flap, so I'm not too worried, and if there's too marked we'll just add a little square of cardstock on the top. So let's take that out. We're going to do exactly the same with this one. Try and line those up nice and evenly. Fold that down. Stop wiggling. Through. It's actually got a very nice, it's embossed beautifully, that as the words and code number. As I say, we're not going to worry about that. We can cover that up. That is a very minor issue. Let's fold those over and bring that up a little bit. clonk, clonk, clonk. And then last, but by no means least, this end one. And I'll just run that all the way through. Sorry, just knocked this, and then in trying to straighten this, I've knocked you. Right, let's ease that rectangle out of there. And I'll move this to one side for a moment. We'll need it again in a minute. But now we have a box with lots of holes in. I'm going to just find myself some vellum. I'm going to cut some vellum to go in these holes. And I'm going to make it, I think, 6.5 by 10. Hi Angie, I was saying thank you for your card earlier. That was a lovely surprise when that arrived through the post the other day. So thank you very much. So that's a 10cm strip of acetate that I'm going to then cut for 6.5 rectangles from. Oh, that was a score blade, that's not going to cut. So there's those. The other thing I want to cut is I'm going to take the plaid builder die, and I'm going to take this section here from the plaid builder die. I don't know whether I'm going to need, whether one of those will do or whether I will need two. Let us have a look. I'm going to bring in some basic black cardstock and I will just run that through my machine. Just pop out all the little bits there. Actually, I think I just need one more of those. But I don't think I'm going to get it out of there. Or am I? I actually might if I drop that down. Let's see if it works. Because if it works, that's a good use of cardstock. If it doesn't, we've not really lost a great deal. Let's try, see if that will come out of that one. Clink clonk, clink clonk. Yes, look, it did work. So I got both of those out of a piece of A5 basic black cardstock. And I've got lots of nice little black squares that I'm sure we're going to think of a good use for at some point. So for now, let's put those to one side, and then these I'm going to snip up the middle there, and this one up the middle there, and we're going to build some leaded windows on here. At least that's the plan. That's the thought process. Let's see if the plan becomes a reality. I think this glue is nearly out. Can we get a fine little squeeze out of it? Perhaps not. Let's see if this one will play. That one plays. Right. So we just want a little double of glue on the end of those arms. We need just to snip a bit off. Yep, about there. Let's put a bit more of a double of glue on the end of those arms, and let's stick that down. And then while I'm working on that window, I'm just going to put a little bit of glue around this outside. This one is on its last legs too, getting those last sort of blobby bits out of the bottom of the pot. And I'm going to stick that acetate. Now this is going to be on the inside and we're not going to see any of this, so we're not worried about this. Let's come on to our next one. I think I may grab a new glue, otherwise we could be here a very long time. And again, we're going to just need to snip some of these arms off here. Have I snipped too much? No, I think we might just about get away with that because the acetate will hold it in place anyway. Oh, that was inevitable, wasn't it, that we were going to get too much out of a new pot. Let's take some of that off of there and just lay that down on there. And some glue around the outside for our vellum. Oh! Fiddle-dee-dee, stay there. So this vellum on the top is going to hold that all in place anyway. Next, little bits of glue on there. Just lining that up as it comes across. vellum window, and last but not least, let's just snip the ends off those. Again, line that up a little bit. And our final bit of acetate window. Let's get rid of all these little snippets underneath. That's it. Let's give that all a bit of a good rub down to make sure that's all nicely adhered on the back there. Turn that over, and got the makings of a lantern going on here. I think I'm going to put some glue on here and fold this round. I'm going to make that much narrower just because it's going to show through that window otherwise. And then we will glue down this bottom flap, and you can see that you've got that embossed feature on the bottom there. So what I will do is I will just find just find ourselves a bit of a square of, yeah, soft suede that we're going to be able to put in the bottom, and I'm going to make it just a little bit smaller than 7 centimeters, so about 6.8. And we'll pop a bit of glue on there, and then that will sit on there and cover up that piece just there. Right, so now we need to add some decoration to this. So for that, I've grabbed the poinsettia dies. So I'll just make sort of one front, probably the focal. I might sort of come on to a couple more, we'll see. But we've got all these lovely poinsettia dies here. Got some real red cardstock. So let us cut ourselves some poinsettias. I'm not sure how poinsettias came to be such a popular Christmas plant. I ought to have looked that up for you. There we are. If anybody wants to Google why we have poinsettias at Christmas, I don't remember having them as a child, but they certainly are a popular addition, certainly here in the UK. So whether that is something that has been a long-held tradition somewhere else and we've adopted it, I really don't know. But they are beautiful, and I certainly have adopted it. We're having a bit of a play, making a bit of the centre focal bit. It's can you see what I'm making yet? So this is as far as we've got, Michelle. We've created this so far. Could be a brown TARDIS, but I think it's far more likely to be a lantern. And now I'm decorating it. Just lining the poinsettia bits up. There is only one way that they go. Obviously, once you've got it right, you can keep cutting them. So are we about right there? Yes. I do love these poinsettias, stamps and dice. This bundle is gorgeous. I'm really pleased to see this is one of the ones that we'll be carrying over into the annual catalogue. Love the way that they don't only cut but they emboss. Just really beautiful. What I might do is take out the bigger one and die cut a couple of smaller ones. I might also think if I flip this over, we have got a couple of dies that will just do little poinsettias that are embossed. Let's have a couple of those as well. That's in that die. And let's have a couple more little ones, because they will be useful to scatter around the place. Right, we'll leave that at that for now. We might need to come back and do some more, but we will see. Obviously now we need some leaves, so let's grab those and we'll have some garden green, I think. I've got so much glue on my fingers that the dies are sticking to them. One, two. Stop sticking. There's a couple of those. Again, we might need more, but we'll see how that takes us. And then I think we'll have I want some centres for our flowers. So let's see if we've got a bit of find some oddments of bumblebee for our centres. And I'm going to take some cinnamon cider and do some of the have some of these leaves. Where are our centres gone? Let's have a bumblebee centre. Let's have another one of those. Pop that out. And we'll want at least one more of those. There we go. Now let's bring these together and do a bit of building. There's a bit of a curl. And a centerpiece, medium size. And little one. To put a double on there, twist that so that it's sitting in the gaps. And again a double on there, twist it again. Let's have a little centerpiece. Ooh. Right, so this is the bit that's going to be at the back, so this is the piece we'll have on the front. So we obviously don't want this sticking down the bottom, out to the bottom, because we need it to sit flat on the ground. Let's take a dimensional and add that in there. And again, dimensional there. Just give that a bit of a curl, just to give it a bit of 3D shape. Now these little berries, I'm going to take my chalk marker and just bring in some berries on there. Just going to pop some glue on that one, and we'll have that one sticking underneath there. Let's build up another poinsettia. So this one is just 2 layers, so slightly smaller. Ooh. That one coming up in the top there. There's our other little, oh, it's on the floor. Let's grab that. Now, do we want this one coming down here? Or might bring it out to that bottom one as well, I think. And then we've got just some of these little ones. I might just take round onto these sides. No, that's more big ones. When you want big ones, you can only find little ones, and when you want little ones, you can only find big ones. Normally got loads of little dimensionals. Where have they all gone? They're obviously hiding from me, so I'm just going to take some scissors. And let's just get a little bit of a dimensional for the back of there. And want to do more of these. Let's just grab one. Oh, where's the other little one gone? Just a quick little bit of real red, and run that through. Can't see my other die. It's going to be here sitting on the side somewhere. I may even be looking at it, but we won't waste 20 minutes trying to find a die. We'll just run this one through twice. And there's the other one. I'll pop those on here. One. And two. There we go. Hi, Glenda. So I think I'm going to take, I've got some long bits of soft suede here. I'm going to cut a 2 centimetre strip down here. Take my bone folder, let's give that a curl. Don't need it as long as that, so I'm going to snip a bit off the bottom. I think that will be much better. So let's have some glue in there and stick that on that side. some glue just there, and we'll stick that side. And then we have, you could go on and add more decorations. You could put poinsettias all round. Somewhere here in preparation, I have got a little battery operated tea light. Please don't put real candles in these. That would not be good. You could perhaps even find a bigger candle to pop in there. But you've got your little battery operated tea light in there. That will hopefully, it's obviously not going to show up very much at the moment because it is it's too light. I'll have to take a video later in the dark and see how well it's glowing through the windows. But you've got your little battery operated tea light in there. As I say, if you've got a bigger candle, I did have some battery operated larger candles, so if you've got a larger LED candle, you could pop that in there as well, just to sit on your side. So that's a little bit of a Christmas decoration. You could go on and you could add glittery bits. You could put on some wink of Stella and make it really sparkly. I did think actually I might take these little stars. They'd perhaps be quite cute in the middle of there, wouldn't they, just to give them a yellow centre. You could add on some embossing paste if you wanted some snow, or just use your chalk marker to add in a bit of snow. So there we go, something a little bit different, a little bit festive. Yeah, a Christmas lantern featuring those beautiful poinsettia dies. So I hope you've enjoyed that bit of a play with something a bit different, and have a really good week. If you, like me, have a very long to-do list, I hope you managed to get through it this week, and I'll be back with you on Friday. So have an excellent week.